love it and love the feedback. Okay, so this week I'm going to try to make myself feel a little bit better and try to pretend like I'm not just a super big procrastinator when I tell you that I had, well intentions to really dig in and write out a solid monologue for you guys. But I got a little distracted early in the week. My kids are finishing up school, so they're getting to me, Dad, we want to watch some summer blockbusters to celebrate the end of the school year. And it was great. I'm not going to tell them no to Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 just so I can write some monologue for the podcast. I figured I'd just come and speak from the heart to you guys here, and got to enjoy, old school Arnold and James Cameron classics with the family. It was great. Having said that, what I did want to talk about was something that I heard, surprise, surprise, on the Felgren Maz show. I love talking to you guys about what I find out on the Felgren Maz show. In fact, today's episode is going to be a 10 questions kind of episode, which you all know that I stole from the Felgren Maz show. So they do this other segment every once in a while where they do 5 random questions that don't have to do with sports. So they put down the sports takes and kind of dive into the world of what me and Juice deal with. And the question that stood out to me that I wanted to bring to you here is, what if you guys were not married and you had to be in the dating world again? What would be the worst turnoff for you out of these 3 things? Somebody who is super political, somebody who is super religious, or somebody who is just Disney obsessed as an adult without children, like those things. Now, I don't know why those were picked, but no surprise, they all said super political would be their least thing that they'd be interested in. That would be a complete turnoff. They'd want nothing to do with a girl who's obsessed with politics. And like I said, I wasn't surprised that was their answer, but I want to push back on that a little bit because probably, 5 to 10 years ago, I might have said the same thing. And we all lived through a worldwide global pandemic where the government of this country locked us out of businesses, of hospitals, of just enjoying life in general, with the biggest governmental overreach I've ever seen in my life. And that's what woke me up, and hopefully will wake you guys up by coming here to the show, to why politics do matter. And it's more than just that. We just had a Supreme Court ruling in favor of the Tennessee law that's banning child mutilation on minors in the state of Tennessee. Now, the left and the lunatics out there, the woke, they challenged this law all the way to the Supreme Court because they want to be able to chop the genitals off of children. And they think that should be nationwide. I think that's absolutely absurd and ridiculous. How do you engage with somebody? How do you find a partner for life? How do you find a soulmate if you can't even figure out where they stand on something like that? And the frustrating thing is that would be labeled super political. We can't talk about it. Don't bring up politics or religion, right? The old thing we always come back to. And to me, again, how can you go through life with somebody if you cannot engage with those issues and those topics? To me, the guys on Felgren Maz, I know they're a little tongue in cheek with that segment they were doing, but they come across as 3 overgrown man children that, don't talk to me about anything important in life. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. You keep your mouth shut, but we'll talk all day about sports, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't matter. These issues do matter, and I want to engage with people that care about stuff like that. And most of all, if you're out there dating in the world of relationships, that needs to be a number one issue. And super religious should also be something you would want to be interested in. At least the guys said that wouldn't bother them at all, that they could probably use a little bit of that themselves. So I'll give them credit for that. But the whole take about somebody who's super political, you don't want to be bothered with. And again, the guys did say on either side of the equation, I don't care whether it's hard right, hard left, whatever. We just don't want to. I don't have the time for that. And it's that attitude that frustrates me. The not realizing just how important these things are, not realizing that these issues do matter, not realizing that by not participating, by not engaging, you're selling out your country more or less, and you're choosing to not participate in the greatest gift that the world has ever seen, this country here that we call America. So with that being said, Juice, I do believe it's time to welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because it is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime! Woo! Woo!
Don't be afraid to bring yourself in too, Mr. Juice. We like to see you over there, buddy.
Oh, I was talking and everything. I was already on my soapbox.
I love it.
I was going to answer that question.
What's that?
I mean, the one I thought you were going to pull me in to answer it, but